Bet you were starting to think I was going to filibuster you right out the door, but
Mr. Chairman, I'm open for a cup of coffee if you want to just go have a stroll.
I know we're good. We're good. We'll finish up here.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate the opportunity to come and testify as always. We look forward to this opportunity to talk about the South Carolina Public Charter School District and the work that our teachers are doing in the classroom with students. And I want to just first of all just thank you and the entire committee for all the support that you've provided over the years, and it's making a difference. The change in the funding formula 3 years ago has been just a true difference maker. And I know we can always ask for more, but the bottom line is we're seeing results, and I'm proud to share some of those results today. Mr. Chairman, if you look at the presentation binder that we presented, page 2, that's our district alignment team. It's our leadership team. We call it the alignment team. It's because we're all aligned to our mission, vision, and values. If you'll turn to page 3, it's a modified version of our org chart. We have the full chart online, but I think the bottom line up front on this is the 4 core functions of the district are completely aligned with the Charter Act. We're doing exactly what you all expect us to do. And of course, our board is created in statute by the General Assembly, and we're really proud of the diverse board that we have and the work that we're doing.
Replace or add a board member or 2?
Not yet.
Okay.
We're waiting. Yeah, the School Boards Association is waiting on the full Senate, I believe, on that one. But we're excited about Mr. Plank.
Yeah, I knew he's been through.
Plank.
He's been through screening.
He went through your committee, yes, sir.
Yeah, he was an impressive candidate.
He's going to be a great addition to the board, and of course, we appreciate the partnership that we have with SCASB, SCASA, and the School Boards Association. I think that's really demonstrated that we can have this diverse board of different education affiliates work together for putting kids first. Sir, if you'll turn to page 4, this is just our district overview, and you'll notice that at our 45-day count, we had just over 20,600 students. We have 44 different schools, and I might add they're all different models, and they're located all over different parts of the state. We have 2,500 plus staff and teachers, and 80% of our teachers are certified. In the law, we only have to have 75. And we value those non-certified teachers who have come from industry to teach science and math, but we've exceeded what the law has recommended. Some really data points that I think are important to notice is since I took over 5 years ago in 2020, our pupils in poverty has grown by almost 8%, and our students with disability population has grown by 63%. Our students of color has also grown to over 51%. And I think that, Mr. Chairman, goes back to just us being intentionally focused on all kids first, being aligned with the one goal in the Charter Act of closing the achievement gap. And our schools, they heard the call, and they're acting in the classroom with the parent and the child, and we're seeing the difference. And I think they're recognizing that the Public Charter School District is aligned with the state and with the General Assembly and with the goal in the Charter Act, and they're choosing our district. Mr. Chairman, if you turn to slide 5, this is just kind of an overview going back to 2020 of the letters of intent and new applications every year. As you can see, we could continue to have a substantial number of letters of intent. This year we received 4 applications. 2 have already been denied. 1 withdrew due to a lack of capacity. And we have 1 pending for our board to review. All that to go back to what Chairman Bennett said earlier, it should be hard to get a charter, and it should be easy to close a bad school. And during my tenure as superintendent, we've closed 4 underperforming schools, and we've closed another 4 before they opened because they didn't have capacity. Mm-hmm. And that's because we take our responsibility and statute seriously. We believe in accountability, which we're aligned with you on that. And we believe that we owe the taxpayers in terms of their tax dollars and making sure that every penny is spent properly and for the good of the children. Mr. Chairman, we'll turn to slide 6. This is our 5-year student enrollment And you can see that since I became superintendent, we started at just over 15,000 students, and today we're just over 20,000. And that's going to continue to climb because we have 6,000 on the wait list today.
Wow. Let me ask about that a little bit. I know that as a result of COVID, we saw a real interest or an increase in the interest in the charter school space. Parents learned more. I think there was a stage there they got more engaged in their children's education, and that triggered the exploration of other options, and then actually choosing those options in some cases. We've certainly cycled through. I think we've fully cycled through, hopefully, COVID and the aftermath of all that. It feels like we're back to normal-ish.
Yes, sir.
Back to normal period, I should say. But you see that growth continuing because you've got a waiting list. I got that, but do you think that trend is? What do you think the market will bear in South Carolina?
Well, I believe that COVID was our Sputnik moment.
Yeah.
I think it was that key moment in American history that really woke a lot of families up and a lot of parents to what was going on in education in America. And that's really in all types of schools, private, public, charter, homeschooling. Everybody just said, look, we got to get serious about this, and we don't want our kids to not be in school, and we want them to be focused and have great opportunities in life. And so parents started to do their research and their homework. They started to choose different options, and they began to take a look at us. And now they like what they see, and that gives confidence in communities, and with confidence in communities gives growth. And I believe, sir, that's what we're seeing, is we're seeing a greater level of confidence in parents to maybe step out of maybe a traditional role and try something that's an alternative. And that's how we're described in the Charter Act, as an alternative. We're not in competition with our traditional districts. My youngest son, he's in Lexington School District 1, and we have a wonderful experience, and I'm a public school guy, and we're public charter schools. But I think parents should have the ability to go back and forth, depending on the needs of their child.
So, but now, I'll throw these numbers out and tell me where I got it wrong. We got about 750,000 school-age kids in South Carolina. Of that, about 80,000 in charter schools. Is that number close to right? 75, 80,000?
I think it's less than that because we're at about 21,000. I think Erskine's at about 26,000. I'm not quite sure of the Limestone number, but it's probably more about 55, 60.
Okay. 60 is about right. So do you think there's a sort of a maximum number that, based on looking at other states, do you have any guess on that? It's just
my background is not traditionally education. I came from the private sector, and I'm a big believer in markets, and I think the market is what's driving it. It's what's driving the demand. I think because we still see so much demand, and I'm sure if you had Angel and Cameron in here, they would tell you they still have high demand as well. We really can't grow fast enough, but also there's a balance. I think there's only so much that an authorizer can do in terms of holding schools accountable and ensuring they're high quality. And so that's why we're all about high quality versus quantity. We might not ever meet the demand, but we want to have high quality, and we want parents to choose the public charter school district.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
If you turn to page 7, sir, you'll see the graduation rate, and we're just slightly above the state average at 86.6%. And, we will continue to try to see growth there. It gets harder as you get higher. And so we're just going to continue to be innovative in how we provide education and help more kids. And on that note, we do a lot with our alternative education campuses that are schools for students with disabilities. You're familiar with the fact that I used to be at the Meyer Center in Greenville. We have Pace Academy in Columbia. We've got schools that serve students with dyslexia and various types of disabilities, but we also have our alternative campuses, Carolina Shores up Myrtle Beach, that are working in partnership with our local school districts. And this is a beautiful thing about our district, is the partnerships with local districts to go out and together find kids that have dropped out of the system and get them back in. And then we're willing to put them into these AECs and help them get across the line and get a diploma, in some cases get an associate's degree at the local technical college, and get them employed when they walk across the stage with their diploma. So we're really proud of the work we do there. It's hard work. These kids have a lot of challenges. You hear about absenteeism. We deal with all that. But it's work that we think is important if we value all kids. Sir, if you'll turn to slide 8, you'll see the end of course comparisons, and you'll notice that the district is either slightly above the state average. You see in biology and English 2, we're slightly above the state average. We're neck and neck in U.S. history and within the margin in algebra. And, y'all, not to beat a dead horse, but, math has been a problem in America and in South Carolina. And you heard Superintendent Weaver talk about how intentional the state's going to be on math now, the way we have with reading. And I think over time we're going to start to see a difference there. But really proud of the fact that, we've been able to continue to sustain growth and help kids. But we're not complacent. We also recognize that we can always be better. If you turn to slide 9, you'll see the SE Ready comparison. And again, we're slightly above the state in ELA, and we're within the margin in math. Turn to slide 10. This is just our financial data. So we've talked about our current 45-day membership. Sir, what we're looking at going forward for 25-26 is an ADM of just over 23,811 students, which is a weighted per unit of over 64,000. So we don't know if we're going to approve the one application we've got left, but we have a lot of schools in our portfolio that are just naturally growing and replicating. And with that is where we're trying to meet some of this demand in the marketplace.
Are any of these schools, the 5 new schools, are any of them transfers?
No, sir.
Okay.
As you know, we have agreements with both Erskine and Limestone in regards to the transfer policy. We also have a policy at the district that our board passed 5 years ago in regards to transfers. So we, unless this is something where we could just collaborate with the other authorizer and it's not a school that's unsatisfactory, we're always open to talk about that, but no school is going to leave our district that's unsatisfactory. And I'll go back to what I said earlier. We've closed 4 schools since I've been here that were unsatisfactory, and we closed another 4 that didn't have capacity before they opened the doors.
Do you have any that are on the bubble right now out of your, how many?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We've got 5 schools that are unsat. We sent each one of those a corrective action letter. It's not punitive first time out, it's supportive.
Right.
But if they don't cooperate, then there's always the option of revocation.
Got it.
And then, sir, if you look on page 11, you look at our FTE breakdown. We've got 24 on the left and 25 on the right. Currently, we have 32 employees, so we're actually down 2 employees from last year. So we're actually dropping in FTEs, which I would assume is a good thing for you. And then
Senator Clymer left, so he's all about the he's all about he loves the FTEs.
No, I know. But in terms of the general fund, we do have a few more people that we had to shift over from the federal level because the ESSER money went away. And what we did was we just transformed those people to put them into our finance and accountability parts of the district. So real proud of the fact that we've been able to, have a balanced budget. We've been able to maintain a sustainable rainy day fund, and we have 0 debt. And I'm proud to say that. And as you know, we only get 2% mandated in the law, and that's all we spend.
Well, that's all you get. So that's like our budget. We can't print the money around here. We got to get it before we can spend it.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So, sir, any questions? That's the end of our briefing.
Chris, that's terrific. I've already asked my questions as I went along.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for your presentation. Keep up the great work and call on us if you need us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.